Hi everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie, and today I will be sharing with you my December daily album that I'm creating using some vinyl, some heat and bond fusible adhesive, some cardboard, as well as some metal foil, I guess, or metal sheets. So the first thing that I'm going to do is trim the cardboard or chipboard, if you want to call it, down to the size of my album. And I am opting to make an album that's 9 by 9. So most of my pages will probably be 6 by 8, but I like to have the flexibility to add some larger pages in there if I so desire. So that's the thought process behind the 9-inch square album. I do have some 8 by 8 page protectors, and then you need a little bit of room for the gusset, and then of course if I want to add tabs or anything, I've got the flexibility for that. So you saw me also trim down some of the heat and bond paper, and I also took some black ink and went along all the edges of the cardboard so that I don't have that brown bit showing through, I guess, for lack of a better word. And now it just comes a matter of adhering everything. So I used my iron to adhere the heat and bond to the cardboard on both sides. And on one side, I'm going to be applying this pattern paper. This is really old pattern paper from 2002, Anna Griffith. And I absolutely love it. And I've got like a ton of sheets of it. So I figured it's the perfect opportunity to use this. So then it was just a matter of adhering the vinyl on the opposite side. And the back cover is pretty much done. For the front part of the album, I do want to add some decorative items. So I'm going to use this foil, this metal foil, as well as some heat and bond on that. And I'm going to use these chipboard letters to spell out 2018. And I'm going to put some heat and bond behind that as well. So once I've got the heat and bond attached to the foil, the metal foil, I'm going to trim out the word Christmas as well as some of these stars. And it's really as easy as that. It's just a matter now of coming up with a layout and figuring out how many stars I need in order to complete the project. And so what you see here is I have about 5 stars and then the 2018. So I went to go take this to the iron to go and attach it and realized that I had to clean up the 2018. So I just trimmed that out a little bit. And then it's just a matter of ironing it on, trimming it down, and the front and back cover are done. Really happy with how it turned out. It looks quite cool, and it's pretty sturdy, which is important. So the next day I noticed that some of the edges had not been bonded as well as I would have liked on the front cover, and that's because of the decorative items I put on top. It was harder to get to the edge. So all I did was took some multi-matte medium and just adhered that down using that. And I'm just testing here to make sure that the words and the stars and everything affixed properly, and they were fine. Now it's just a matter of punching in some holes to run the rings through, and I'm using a page protector to come up with the alignment. I opted to go with 6 rings because I like the idea of being able to attach smaller items in my album, and the 3 rings help give it stability. So that was why I went with that. I'm just using my crocodile to punch out the holes, checking the alignment, making sure the rings will fit through, and that all looks really good. I will be using some eyelets in a little bit, so you saw me there pulling out some black eyelets. I'm aligning the front cover with the back cover and just making the circles a little more defined so when I go to punch them, I know or I can see what I'm doing. Once all the holes are punched out, it's just a matter of affixing the eyelets to it, and that was a very easy process with the crocodile. Again, checking to make sure that the rings go through perfectly, which they do. I don't know if I'll stick with the rings. I might switch it out for like a wire cording or something instead, depending on how thick my album gets. So did that with both the front and the back cover, and the album is pretty much finished. So now it's just a matter of running some rings through as well as putting in some page protectors to start off with. It is a little bit of a pain to get the rings all lined up, but once the pages are in, it does flow pretty easily. Like you'll see here, I'm just going to flip through so you can see that they do flip over pretty quickly, which was my concern, and fortunately it wasn't one that I had to worry about. So that is going to be my album for this year. So if you're interested in finding out more about what I'm going to be doing with the December Daily, please be sure to subscribe, and I will be posting more shortly. Until next time, happy crafting.